How are you lovely people doing today? My name is John and welcome to a beautiful, fantastic, and wonderful episode of the Top 5. This is one of the most interactive Top 5 series on all of the interwebs. Now, here's how this works. This week, I'm going to give you my Top 5, and then you guys in the comments below write your own Top 5, an entirely community-driven list. So this week, I present to you my Top 5 things I don't want in Black Ops 3. I'm going to go through my list, and then you tell me in the comments below the one thing you don't want to see in Black Ops 3, the one thing that you would absolutely detest. Now, if you see somebody has already suggested your idea, give them a thumbs up, because I'm going to go through all the comments, and I'm going to see which ideas, according to you guys, are the least wanted in all of Black Ops 3. Now, to make this much easier, I would really recommend you check and make sure somebody has already said what you are thinking, and if that's the case, give them a thumbs up. It'll just make this process a lot faster. This is an entirely community-driven list. Without further ado, though, let's get rolling with my Top 5. Kicking things off in the bonus slot. I would hate if there were holes that I can fall into and die. This is probably one of the most frustrating ways to die in all of zombies. We've seen it in Transit, we've seen it in Die Rise, we've seen it on the map Moon, and I've seen it in plenty of custom zombie maps. I love a great game when I'm playing, having a great time, but nothing ruins that game more when I just accidentally slip into some hole and fall into a deep abyss where I die. It's one of the most frustrating ways to die because all that happened was I slipped up on a button. It doesn't really show much skill. It doesn't create too much of a challenge. It just creates aggravation and frustration, and that's why I would hate it if there were many holes that I can accidentally fall into and die. Moving on into the number 5 spot, I don't want buildable wonder weapons. We saw it in Die Rise, we saw it in Transit, and we saw it come back in Origins. I prefer when the wonder weapon is something we get from the mystery box. There's something so rewarding about accidentally achieving it from the mystery box. You put your 950 points in, you pray to the COD gods that you get something good, and then what do you know? A thunder gun is right before your eyes. It's so awesome. Everybody loves the excitement and the thrill of getting the wonder weapon from the box the first time. It's not as satisfying when you build it, and it can also just get a little annoying. I always hate running around Die Rise collecting the parts to build the sickle fire, and nobody ever uses the god-awful jet gun because it's such a pain in the ass to build. I don't like buildable wonder weapons. Sliding on into the number 4 spot, I do not want giant maps. Now let me clarify a tad bit. Transit is, of course, the biggest map we've ever seen. That map is bad for many reasons, one of which because it is so big, but even maps like Origins I feel get a little bit large. Whenever I feel like I'm just running errands around a ginormous area for hours, it gets frustrating. I feel like a map like Buried fits the proper size. It has a lot of variety, there's a lot of places to go, but it's also not ginormous, and there's many sort of shortcuts. Whenever you have a map, say like Origins, where I need to go on a hike to get somewhere, or even Die Rise sort of has that same feel, it just kind of gets annoying. I'd rather be able to easily navigate a much smaller map than trek across a ginormous map. The third greatest thing I don't want in Zombie are perks related to death. So we've seen 2 perks within zombies that relate to death. We have Tombstone and Who's Who. And the problem with death perks is, I feel like it almost makes the game a little bit too easy. I don't like when my zombies get incredibly easy. I don't mind it being a little bit easy, but when you have something like Who's Who that does allow for me to get unlimited lives, that just kind of frustrates me. And Who's Who always just seemed like a kind of pointless perk to me. I never really understood why it would be all that great. I mean, you get your weapons back, that's nice and all, but it's not a challenge, it's not fun. And on a map like Transit, you're probably not going to be able to get to your Tombstone in time. I'm not a big fan of any perks that relate to death or being able to survive death, anything like that. I just feel like it makes zombies a little bit cheaper, and then the experience isn't as rich. For the number 2 spot, I think we can all agree, please Treyarch, do not give us any fog or weather effects. Nobody has ever said, oh boy, I really love how this map is going, and what makes it just perfect is the fact that there's dynamic weather systems. Boy, they really have a dedication to realism, because no, Treyarch, dynamic weather systems, while maybe cool initially, are not cool. They are not interesting. They do not make the map good. What makes a map good is the gameplay. nobody is going to be like, wow, it just went from fog to rain to snow. So realistic, such a great map. Hats off to you, Treyarch. That's not what makes maps good. Everybody hates the fog, and you know it just as much as I do. Please do not focus your efforts on making dynamic weather effects. Focus your effort on making good gameplay. The number one thing I do not want to see in Black Ops 3 Zombies is the bank. I want to go Andrew Jackson on this bank right now and just absolutely slaughter it. Kill it. Do not put the bank in Black Ops 3. I hate the bank with a passion. It makes the game way too easy. It ruins the survival aspect of zombies. I enjoy when I'm playing zombies and I'm sort of fighting for my life, trying to scrounge together as many points as possible. Maybe to get a pack-a-punch, or maybe to hit the mystery box one more time. It feels rewarding. It makes the gameplay much more enjoyable. The temptation of going to a bank and suddenly withdrawing 250,000 points is way too great, and it ruins the game. I do not enjoy the bank at all. I feel like it was one of the worst features we saw in Black Ops 2. Sure, initially it was awesome, free money, but then as time goes on, you realize it's just a nuisance, and it really ruins the core of the gameplay. Zombies is about surviving, but how are you surviving if you're just able to pull money out of thin air? It's pointless. Anyway, that's about it for this week's episode of the Top 5. Those are the 5 things plus 1 that I do not want to see in Black Ops 3. Tell me in the comments below, what do you not want to see at all in Black Ops 3? If you see somebody's already suggested your idea, give them a thumbs up. You guys are going to be contributing to your top 5 things you don't want to see in Black Ops 3. This is a list entirely written by the community. If you'd like to check it out as soon as it comes out, make sure you subscribe. I upload a new top 5 every week, and if you enjoyed this one, I'm sure you'll love the next one. You may also want to give the video a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to go. Have a fantastic day, and bye.